Don't even get me on that one. Done it a few times and had to come back with vengeance. Can I help you in any way? Glance at you, suddenly interested. Well, since you're asking, there's a cave nearby. I used to pick berries there. The place has been overrun by spiders. The berries are red, look a lot like raspberries, fangberries, I call them. It'd be great, feel grateful if you gathered a basket of them and brought them back. Be quick. If you do, they'll spoil quickly. Spiders in the cave are mean. Here, let me give you some alchemical fire. Crafted it myself. Burn those spiders to a crisp. That will teach them for taking over my Fangberry cave. Also need a bucket of moon radishes. They are rare and mysterious plant. I don't know where to find them, but I know that kobolds gather them and value them highly. It's not a huge deal really. I do it myself if I were younger, but if you're willing, I pay you 3 potions for the berries, a purse full for the radishes. Why do you need them? You want to know? Well, I'm glad to tell you after you bring me them. Alright. Okay, just watch out, alright? Don't end up somebody's lunch. Sword. You gonna talk? Alright. Spill it. Listen in. She shrugs several times, perhaps flexing her muscles, or maybe just filling it in silence. Dunno. She admits at last. Depends what we're going to talk about. If it's about monsters or swords or scars, I approve. That's good. And if you're going to ask questions like why and what for and how, screw this. Amiri looks you over slowly, head to toe. Or you got even harder ones. Tell me about yourself. The simple question seems to puzzle Amiri. She scratches her head, then starts counting on her fingers. First, I'm a barbarian. I'm strong. I grew up in the realm of the Mammoth Lords. I left my tribe, the Six Bears. She looks thoughtfully at her 4 bent fingers and shrugs. And I like fights. She concludes painting her thumb. What's it like to be the barbarian in a Six Bears tribe? Our people are big and strong. You can cut a monster in half with one swing. You can walk 3 days and nights with no rest. You can eat a whole fried oryx. I guess you had to do a lot of training to become as strong as you are. Training? No one freaking trained me. The boys of the Six Bears got the training. All I could do was watch. Amiri's eyes gleamed with anger. And you know what? They were still crap even after all that training. Because I kicked their butts. Animals, bandits, monsters, all thought they were stronger than me. Idiots. Spits on the ground. Because if you start a fight, think you can win? You think you're stronger than your enemy? She raises her chin proudly. I defeated them all. See all the scars on my face? Why do I have got these scars? What does the realm of the mammoth look like? Huge and freezing. No place for weaklings. She narrows her eyes at evaluating your ability to survive in her homeland. I'm a door. Cold's nothing to me. Tribes hunt oryx herds to survive. Oryx are fast, so tribe follows herd for days, just to not die of hunger. If you are weak, you stay behind and die in the snow. Tribe cannot stop. Also, there are giants and mammoths. Sometimes demons come too. And the mastodons and the saber-toothed tigers. You would survive, I think, for a few days. Why'd you leave? She flushes. Cause they were assholes, all of them. Men were cowards and scoundrels, and women were scared like sheep. She rolls her bloodshot eyes in fury. Men there think no girl can be a fighter, because they are weak. They are afraid of women and beat them. What? Females just nod, go so hides, cookie, watch kids. That's what they always say. But I'm a warrior, damn it. I can't cook hides and watch meat. Amiri is already shouting for his clenched teeth. I told them so. I went hunting with men. And what did I get? Still the same. You're a woman, you stay home. Even gave me a nickname, the Soft Chieftain, like a warrior woman with a funny joke. Damn, I even went to hunt those shit-faced frost giants in here. suddenly stopped, breathing heavily, sweat beading on her forehead. After a moment, she waves her hand awkwardly and forces herself to dance. So I left. Cowards, scoundrels, and sissies they all were. That's why. They're quite a good fare. Quite good. Compared to who? If I was a crappy male, I'd fight better. Is that what you say? She glares at you, her eyes narrow. Or you say I could be better, like, go get some training, Amiri, right? I meant exactly what I said. You're quite a good fighter. Don't raise your voice to me ever again. Ho ho. He continues to breathe heavily for several seconds, glaring at you. Finally, she calms down. I won't, she mutters. Forget it. You're rather rude, you know. You bet. Amari grins, then suddenly frowns. I'm a fighter, big and strong. Everyone's afraid of me. I can't play the softy. Who would ever fear me again then? A contemplative expression disappears from Amiri's face, replaced by a dreamy grin. I enjoyed being feared. Then I pass by and all the sissies almost faint, knees trembling, teeth chattering, shit dripping down their pants. All silent, fascinated with the picture of how imagination has been. So why'd you leave the tribe? I told you already, they were assholes. They treat women like sheep, not fighters. As for giants, I'll tell you later, someday, maybe. That's a nice sword. You bet. It's not simple. Check how big it is. She proudly raises the blade, and you notice that even though Amari is extremely strong, she still has difficulty wielding such a large sword. This sword belonged to a real blasted frost giant. I killed the beast and took this looker for myself. Fits me perfect. My damn trophy. Eyes flash with menace as if she's challenging some invisible enemy to try taking away from her. She stares at you after a long pause. Ha ha ha. You made such a funny face. Relax. Jokes are kinda shy, yeah. Talking. When will we do some monster killing instead? We'll get there, my dear. We'll get there. Greetings. Everything well, I hope. I'm ready for new orders. What exactly would you like to know? I was born to a noble family, though I didn't remain long on the family estate. My father sent me to the Order of the Eternal Rose, but I left once I realised that it didn't match my principles. I was born in Brevoy, but the fact is I've never seen much of the country. I spent my childhood on a remote estate owned by my noble family. My father is a respectable philanthropist and benefactor of the Church of Syn. He's also a renowned private collector and a great admirer of the arts. My mother saw to my education personally. From my early years I learned good manners, how to behave at the dinner table and the proper form of words for every occasion. I also learned the difference between true nobles and low-born upstarts, and I've learned how to treat each of them properly. Our home was always under the protection of several paladins of Syn. My father has donated a handsome sum to their order. One of them, a man of vulnerable age, with a great grey beard, once let me touch his shining armour. I still remember the admiration I felt when I touched the cold, polished steel. Of all the memories of my childhood, that one is somehow the warmest one. I was sent to the Paladin Order. As you can imagine, from the first day I was surrounded by crowds of servants and nannies who never stopped praising my heavenly beauty. Paladins of Syn, who used to visit our house, echoed those praises. In the end, general consensus overwhelmed my father's better judgment. When I turned 6, I was brought to the Church of Syn and told that there would be my new home. Don't pity me, I beg of you. Many who hear this story immediately assume that my parents were cruel and had no love for their child. My parents had respect for me. They taught me something that has supported me my whole life, a sense of self-esteem. Besides, they didn't abandon me. Once every 6 months, they would come and visit me at the Order of the Eternal Rose. We had some tea, and then had an hour to walk around the garden. Then they would take their leave as etiquette demanded. Teach. A variety of things, some of them appealed to me, others I simply couldn't accept. I enjoyed the physical activities and swordsmanship, the arts, calligraphy, painting, poetry, and so many other ways to waste one's time. I guess that deep in my heart I always knew I'd never be a true paladin of Shen. Wielding a sword always felt more natural to me, handling a because of my heavenly beauty, VINCI's in contempt. According to Shen's law, all art is sacred, whatever form it takes. Here punishment awaits those who dare harm a painting, sculpture or poem, no matter how worthless the dribble might be. My looks always attracted unwanted attention from the pilgrims and acolytes at the temple. I received my first poem dedicated to me when I was 9, to offer some wealthy geezer in lips and content, and that was only the beginning. Sculptures, pictures, poems, I was drowning in them. My admirers mobbed me, and I had to accept all their garbage. The clerics of the temple were magnanimous, for my suitors made generous offerings to the church. But one time I just snapped. Repressed anger glitters across Valerie's eyes. Some wealthy idiot had dedicated an extremely untalented poem to me, and he had the nerve to read it right in front of my face, holding my sleeve. The hour was late, and I was on my way to get some rest after a boring lesson on rhymes. I lost control and tore the poem apart right in front of him. Valeria raises her head proudly. The paladins wanted to impose some punishment upon me. I don't remember which one exactly they wanted me to repent. Instead, I just gathered all my things and left. I set off for Resto. I wanted to get as far away as possible from Chien and the destiny everyone seemed ready to force upon me. Besides, the School of Swordsmanship in Resto has quite a decent reputation. Honestly, I was hoping for an opportunity to learn from the famous Aldori masters. Eventually, it became clear that their techniques wasn't a good fit for me. They teach to avoid impact, where I prefer to raise my shield. But my abilities and skills, which I learned at the Order of Eternal Rose, was enough to make the Sword Lords take an interest in me. They offered me a chance to join the mercenaries who served the Sword Lords, and I accepted. I bet your beauty inspired many. Suddenly becomes gold, and here I hope to avoid the question. Well, let's get this over with, once and for all. You should never understand that I am. You should understand that I am perfectly aware what most races, orders, and genders find me physically attractive. It's beyond my power to change that, but I've never given a potential admirer any reason to start a conversation with me. But it doesn't stop them. After leaving the Order, they took a dagger and cut off the long hair they used to praise. Well, now I get letters praising the beauty of my eyes. Well, that's what you get. It was because of my appearance that I ended up in the Order of the Eternal Rose, though I never wanted to be a paladin. It was because of my beauty that an infinite number of sisters had pursued me. Other thing confusing simple politeness with hints of affection. Clenches her fist. You know what I really want? I want people to stop treating me like a piece of art. I want them to notice that I'm a person, that I'm capable of something more than smiling or painting. Where I sit wearing a lacy satin dress, holding a basket of peaches in my lap. Is that too much to ask? The last question comes out in a snout, though Valeria doesn't seem to realise it. Thanks for your honesty. I understand you very well. You're a true friend who I can trust. I am truly happy that you understand me. She smiles at you gracefully, and the smile is full of warmth, as you never expected someone as stern as Valerie. You shouldn't realise that you're smiling. You suddenly realise that you're smiling back at her. Tell me about the way of Syn. She is a goddess of love, beauty, and art. Her paladins are something like armoured artists. That's how they like to think of themselves, at least. She tries to contain her feelings, but her inner content will burst forth. They are fanatical defenders of worthless, inartistic paintings and meaningless obtuses, if you care to know my opinion. Speak with such content. What do the gods of beauty do to earn your anger? She's been trying to ruin my whole life. Syn, the goddess of everything useless that ever existed in this life. All the beauty in the world, all the art, all the soulful sighs in the moonlight. You never feed a single family. And I beg you to restrain yourself from offering your own opinion. Trust me, I've heard everything you can tell me more than once. Nothing and nobody can change my mind. I look at you with suspicion. As for Syn, she's a goddess of idlers. I almost joined her preposterous entourage. I'm just glad I was smart enough to deny her while I still could. You wander around seeking the next pile of garbage. When they find it, they call it an immortal piece of art, and admire it until they're blue in the face. You might come to believe this, but the paladins of Syn aren't allowed to slay their enemies. They beg for mercy. Can you guess why? Because a bandit, rapist, or murderer who has been put to the sword will never be able to create something beautiful in the future. So a paladin overpowers her enemy in battle. She inspires him to create a masterpiece. Nice reflects the stream. Dust. It would sound hilarious if it weren't true. Plus, all of Syn's followers are obliged to practice some kind of art in his or her free time. Every single day, no matter what else is going on, even if you're feeling sick or hungry or sleepy. Otherwise, according to the clerics, you lose your connection with the goddess. I suppose there is no you agree. I understand not every piece of art is good or even decent, but surely there must be at least a few great works. Is that what you think? Hers an eyebrow, mocking amusement. Many share that delusion. I was deluded too for a while. Now I consider all works of art useless. People create this garbage because they have nothing better to do. The peasant doesn't paint a picture, he ploughs the earth to feed his family. The soldier has no time for sculptures, he must defend his homeland. Idlers and slackers have plenty of time to waste. So they smear canvases with paint and imagine they've done something worthy and valuable. You said that every paladin must practice. What did you do? That I used to embroider, and I still do from time to time. A blush covers Valerie's cheeks. It's nothing, I assure you, just a simple task to keep my hands busy and keep the gloomy thoughts at bay. Nothing special. I couldn't agree more. If I can be frank, all this talk about Syn makes me want to spit. But my noble upbringing prevents me from performing such an undignified act. Right. You're an atheist. Great. I need no guidance from above. I have my own good conscience and my leader's orders to live by. Yeah, she rolls her eyes. You're right to suppose that. Even here, in these remote lands, one can afford offspring of many noble houses, and all of them consider it a duty to kneel before me, begging me to walk with them in the garden. Voice overflows with contempt. If words were poison, you'd be dying a horrible death. Oh, and don't forget about the village oaths. They understand the concept of nobility perfectly well, so they realise they'll be punished if they dare make any advanced towards me. So that they prefer to stare from a distance, drooling. And believe me, I can very well imagine what they discuss in the taverns. He shivers and jerks his shoulders, as if trying to shed the sticky, disgusting stares. You know you don't have to follow etiquette and maintain good manners. I'm aware of that, sigh, but I'm sure you understand that I am what I am. And that's how I was brought up. First my parents, and then by my mentors in the order. Besides, I was born to noble family. He raises her chin. Though I'd rather enjoy the idea that my manner of speech differs a bit from the common language peasantry. You just can't imagine how many social climbers have bowed politely the moment I opened my mouth. You know, you're really quite beautiful. You know, she's gonna leave, isn't she? I sincerely hope your words carry nothing more than mere politeness. Oh yes, that's good. In that case, I thank you for your compliment and ask that you never bring it up again. You're so eager to follow my orders? What do you mean, why? She looks at you in bewilderment. I follow your orders. I've joined your campaign because I have faith in you. I believe your intentions to be noble, though things may not always turn out true as planned. You are my commander, your orders are law. It's my duty to follow them. Well, so as long as you don't order me to do something that's absolutely dishonourable, that would never happen, I hope. As you wish. Right, so. Quick! A jittery old man in squalid clothing shuffles up to you with grey hairs and cape, and he completely clenches and unclenches his wrinkled, freckled hand. When he stops and looks at you, his eyes widen and he tugs at his beard. Strange weather, invisible fog creeping out of the woods, shores beyond the sky, obscures the sun and moon. Strange. The old man shakes his head, his eyes shifting about, seemingly at random. I don't like this old man. Looks like he's kind and cast the evil eye. Who are you? Lewis. But that won't help with the fog. What are you doing here? Not one of the words, is he? I do nothing. Brave walk, observe. The fog looks invisible enough to be. I see more than ever. I've never seen so much before. The old man wipes his hand across his face and sighs wearily. But someone must look, and no one else can. Invisible fog, does that mean you can find your way through it? The fog is wrong. It hinders your legs, not your sight. I wish not to try. Should probably go. The old man stares at you intently. You hasten, you shoot. Your rivals waste no time. He races, but in another direction. He searches for power. You'll find it. Do what I have to do. I don't care about rivals. Old dog barks loud, while cunning one readies to bite. Cunning, short but stubborn. He is now in an ancient tomb that lies south of the trading post, searching for the great power that once gave joy, and now brings only death. You don't want my nonsense, then you'll hear sobs and screams. Once stolen, the land should be reclaimed. Once reclaimed, bound with the glamour shall it be. Bound, merged, joined by unbreakable ties. Claiming this land, claiming its pain, claiming its death.
world calls me.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
No fear!
Let us strike as one.
Tear them apart!
Serves you right.
You made your choice.
Do not falter.
Wow. Impressive. Sometimes you get rolls like that, and sometimes you didn't get rolls at all. Eh? Okay, but first,
Well. Die, die, die! Onwards! Stay behind me.
attack.
Deserve it.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
Let us strike as one.
They go
Any last wishes?
No fear.
This is where I step in.
You made your choice.
Ah! Do not falter.
So it comes to this.
Bring it.
I'll just have to resort to brute force. No fear!
I'm letting you out of our story.
Tear them apart!
Forwards. Hey, wait for me.
Ah!
You've made your choice.
May I see your
Choice.
entrails, please?
Ooh. Brain damage permanent.
Yes. Burn! Slice! Behead!
Strike worth a legend.
Aha!